it was, and so this is, but very interestingly, and there's another part in here. I'm not sure whether he put that in here or not, but I think he did. In December of 1967, that was in September of 1967, right? So in December of 1967, Crane Brinton, this is for our crowd here, Crane Brinton, who was the chair of the Department of Intellectual History at Harvard University, was delivering his last lecture. It was his last semester of teaching at Harvard. And after 50 years at Harvard University, he was going to be delivering his final lecture on intellectual history. And he'd been asked to lecture on the topic of what the single most important idea was that he had ever encountered in his study of the intellectual history of the human family. So we go down from the law school, and there are people from all around the world. I was in the last all-male class at Harvard University that graduated in 1967. And so they're all men from all around the world have come to this last lecture of Crane Brinton out of the respect for him. So the whole place is filled to overflowing, and he gets up and he announces that the most important single idea that he had encountered in his entire 50 years of studying intellectual history of the human family was this. He said that the greatest minds in the human family have all come to a common understanding that our human family is evolving a new faculty. It is a faculty like seeing or hearing, but this is a faculty by means of which they will be able to directly, experientially encounter and engage the unifying phenomenon in the universe that bonds every single ultimately irreducible integer of matter in the entire physical universe into one single harmonious whole. And that by means of this experience, like seeing or hearing, they will be able to discern, each individual will be able to discern what form of human conduct, either individual or collective, is actually harmonious with or disharmonious to the natural order of the universe. And he closed up his book and laid it down and walked away and never delivered another lecture at Harvard. And that was the final lecture. And I said to myself, holy shit. I said, listen to that. This is the guy, after 50 years at this intellectual center, has declared that that is the most important single idea that the greatest minds in our human family have discovered. Okay? And so that I put in the book as well. And I said, that struck me as an important assignment, because here I was, basically had no family. I hadn't been with my parents since I was 12 years old. I was declared an emancipated minor. I lived with all my aunts, had this big full scholarship to Harvard College. So I basically adopted Harvard as my family. And so here I am being authorized by the kind of rulers of Harvard University, the seat of the liberal ethic in Western civilization, right, in their own minds, instructing me that this is the most important single idea that our human family has ever encountered.